So I want to transition into making sure you're mining from the right mountain or painting from the right river. And the best way to do this is tell you what not to do. And that honestly is what everybody is almost doing. Laura's here, founder of Care Intelligence. I want to talk today about the concept of prospecting for gold and how you can apply that to your company when it comes to attracting drivers. Now, if you kind of go back to the 1850s and you look at the California gold rush, most individuals that became gold prospectors did not have the wherewithal or knowledge how to go out and mine for gold themselves. The way they went out and learned was through veterans that have already been doing it. From there, they learned techniques like panning, digging shafts, etc. So once they learned those practices, then they applied them themselves and hopefully would get rich was the idea. I think there's a huge parallel with that in the trucking industry, where trucking companies typically will go out and try to prospect for drivers by doing things other companies have been doing for a long time. No different than new prospectors would go out and use the veteran methods to find gold. Carriers will try to find drivers using the methods that other companies are using. Now, while that can work, the most important thing to remember is that you still want to be prospecting where the gold is. It doesn't matter how great your mining technique is or how well you can pan. If there's not gold to be had there, then you're going to come up empty. And that is a huge thing we see carriers struggle with day after day that we talk to. They may be doing techniques that seem okay, but they simply are not where the good drivers are. So it doesn't matter if you do everything right, if the drivers aren't in that river you're panning for or in that mountain you're digging shafts in, you're gonna come up empty-handed again and again and again. And that can be very, very frustrating, disheartening, and make you question your recruiting practices. So I want to today talk about real quickly what are those techniques you should be using and then how to apply those techniques to the right areas to increase your probability and success of actually getting drivers. So what are those techniques you should be using? Well, it's not that difficult. You want to be focusing on what it is that makes your company unique and focusing heavily on video. We see video reigning true across all different ad platforms and mediums when it comes to trying to resonate with drivers. In addition to that, you want to be using a disruptive style marketing. Now, the way you do this is focusing on hitting the right drivers with the right message on the right platform at the right time. And backing up, you just want to put yourself into good driver's shoes. Think where those good drivers are. We know it's social media. We know it's YouTube. We know it's on their favorite news outlets, blogs, etc. You want to be where the good drivers are. A lot of different ways to do that. I've covered this in several other videos, so make sure to check those out about the actual use of disruptive attraction methods and how to find those better drivers. So I want to transition into making sure you're mining from the right mountain or painting from the right river. And the best way to do this is tell you what not to do. And that honestly is what everybody is almost doing. It's very, very interesting that doesn't matter how large a company is, a carrier is, they 9 times out of 10 are just using the right methods on the wrong platforms. They're fishing out of the wrong pond, essentially. And that comes down to things like Craigslist, online classifieds. Huge waste of time. A lot of people kind of kicking dirt around, not really ready to move. They're just bulk applying, waiting to see what comes at them. Bottom of the barrel. Drivers from Craigslist are not that great. Moving up a level, you get into things like job boards, right? Indeeds, ZipRecruiters, etc. Can look a little bit better on the surface, but honestly, oversaturated. You got a bunch of other people mining and trying to get the same people from it. Doesn't work that well. It's too competitive, gives a lot of power to the drivers. They have the ability to go out, bulk apply, build best offers. It's hard to win, hard to get those golden nuggets. Going up a level higher, you're gonna get into trucking specific job boards. A lot of them out there, I'm not gonna name them right now. You've probably heard of them, you know about them, maybe you've used them. Issue with that is you're gonna pay X dollars per lead or however they finagle that out with you. Problem is that there's no exclusivity. You're going to pay dollars for this lead. Unfortunately, that company is going to resell that lead, distribute it out to upwards of 30 other carriers. The worst thing is those are your direct competitors. They are going to be people that have similar things to offer as you, maybe a higher pay, maybe a bigger sign-on bonus. It's unethical. They are giving that lead to multiple companies just like yours, and now you're left fighting against your direct competitors. Huge, huge problem. Even if you wind up quit using them, they're gonna keep reselling those leads that you've already paid to generate. So you don't own the data, no exclusivity, big problem. If you look up, kind of a next level up would be third-party recruiters. Third-party recruiters honestly are brokers of broken information. They're going to go out to the methods I just talked about, the Indeed, Craigslist, job boards, etc. They're going to go out and try to find drivers there, which we've already defined as not being great drivers, and they're going to try to resell that to you through some form of markup. They may overpromise the drivers to get them in so they can collect their referral fee. However it works, they're still panning the gold from the same dirty rivers where there's just not that much gold to be had, okay? So not a good situation, and that's what the landscape looks like for most companies when they're going out there and trying to attract better drivers for their company. So those are essentially the places you don't want to be prospecting from, all right? And it goes back to the original point, circling back, you gotta be where the good drivers are. You gotta be where the gold is. And when you can do that with predictability, using the right tools, the right prospecting methods, you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna be able to attract better drivers, retain them for longer, and ultimately scale your fleet. So hopefully that was a quick, helpful video. And any questions, give us a holler, carrierintelligence.com. We are here to help you out. Catch you in the next video.